So she believes she could start the business, build the brand, leave the career, start the career, do the things she wants to do, travel the world. Like, I love it because it can be the beginning statement for so many things and, make the difference that she wants to make. It's all of the things. So it's really deciding what is it that you want to do and believing in yourself enough to do it.
Welcome to the Paige Kornblue Show on the road in Orlando. Life has a way of asking us to grow into new seasons. Sometimes that means changing careers. Sometimes it's starting a business, raising a family, finding your confidence again, or simply believing you're capable of taking the next step. My guest today has helped so many women do exactly that. Allison Walsh is the founder of She Believed She Could, a business and personal brand strategist, best-selling author, speaker, and podcast host who's passionate about helping women build confidence, step into visibility, and create lives and careers that align with who they truly are. So whether you're navigating a new chapter or simply looking for the courage to trust yourself a little bit more, lean into this one. Here's my conversation with Allison Walsh. We get to be in Allison Walsh's She Believes She Could studios in Orlando, Florida. I am so excited to be recording from here.
Oh my gosh, it's such a gift. I'm so glad to have this time with you today, Paige. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, this is your home base.
It is.
But you spread the good word everywhere in the one simple phrase, She Believes She Could. What does it mean to you?
Oh my goodness, that's a big question. But for me, it's believing enough in yourself to take that next step. I think so often we overcomplicate things and we make things so big. But if you simply reconnect with self and believe enough in yourself to do the next thing that you need to, you can truly change your life. So that's what it means to me is believing enough in yourself to take that next step.
Before we break that down just a little bit more, how did you start in that space, with your journey to be able to now help so many others?
Well, a lot of people invested in me along the way. I mean, really, when I think about my life and I think about the journey to get to where I am now, it was amazing women that poured into me, that held up the mirror, that reminded me of what I was capable of. And I talk a lot about it actually in the book. And the book opens up with me sharing a story about a mentor that I had that at 18 years old, she looked at me and said, Allison, you were blessed with a voice to tell your story. You have the ability to change and save lives, and you need to do something about it. And that literal belief that somebody else had about me and the ability for me to make an impact in this world set me on this journey. And, I was very blessed to have an incredibly successful career in the behavioral health space and work in that startup space for so long and to change lives, save lives. But along the way, I recognized that I needed to be that person that spoke life into me for other people. And so I started really pouring into other women and mentoring them and helping them on their journeys to really be their best selves. For many years, I focused on younger women who were, 15 to 25 years old is really where I was spending a lot of my time. But in 2015, I really started helping women at various stages of their lives, careers, businesses shine brightly. And when it was 2020 and pandemic hit and I was looking for inspiration and wisdom and just a positive environment, I thought to myself, you know what? I can create a space to celebrate women, to support women, to empower women. And because I can't see anybody in real life right now, a podcast sounds like a great idea. Yeah. And it was my daughter who said, well, Mom, she believes she could, so she did, has been one of your favorite phrases and sayings for so long. And you should name your podcast that. And I said, you know what, Maddie, you're right. And that was it. And the rest is history. So what started as a podcast in March of 2020 turned into a book, which turned into a community, which turned into me being able to be of service to so many ambitious, wonderful women who honestly changed my life every single day.
And how do you help them? What are some of the steps you take and through your work, if you were explaining Allison Walsh's work in a nutshell, how would you do so?
Yeah, so I'm a brand and business strategist. So I help women build incredible personal brands so that they can unlock that next level of success or fulfillment in their future. I have been so blessed to work with so many high achieving women who want to make a big difference in this world. But for whatever reason, either they need help with clarity or they need to get out of their own way. Or so many women come to me and say, I am done playing small in my life and I want to shine brighter. I want to go after those next opportunities. I want to do the thing that's been on my heart for so long. And I need somebody to help me along that journey. Those are the women that I serve. So I help a lot of authors. I help thought leaders in general. I help a lot of speakers memorialize their message and get clarity around what it is that they want to do and how to get there. So it's not just about building the brand, it's the strategy behind it. And for so many women that I support, they're looking to turn this into their next chapter. And so a lot of women are transitioning either in their careers or they're starting a new business or whatever that might look like for them. And so I get to be a part of that journey, and it is such a blessing.
I've loved to sit in a room with you
Oh, thank
and
you.
really brainstorm and learn because not only do you bring in the new ideas, but you're connecting and,
Yes.
coming up with things that a lot of times, we're thinking this way and
Uh-huh.
and then you bring in this idea. And so I just think it's so valuable,
Thank
right? And you
you.
can just run with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I can see potential, right?
Yes.
And that's like when I get so excited is when, I sit with somebody like you or the other women in our community, and it's like, I can see 5 years from now what the potential is and the possibilities and a very clear path. But all of us need somebody like that in our corner. I mean, I do too, right? Like when you're so close to your own story and like what it is that you want to do, it can be really easy to get caught up in like, but what do I even do next? What's step one? And that's where it's so helpful to have somebody that's like, okay, let's figure out where we want to go and let's create the plan to be able to get there. And that is so helpful, and it is one of my favorite things to do, and I love nothing more than celebrating on the other side of it when the thing has happened. The book deal's been obtained, the stage has been spoken on, the win has happened, the business has started, whatever it is, and I am so grateful for the women that trust me to be a part of that journey and to help them get connected to all the right people, places, and spaces to make those dreams come true.
Both of us like talking about that next right step,
Yes,
right? So for
yes.
somebody listening who might feel stuck,
Yeah.
what would your advice be?
Yeah. Well, first of all, why are you feeling stuck? Right? Have you outgrown a version of yourself that no longer feels aligned with the identity that you want to hold for yourself? Oftentimes, people feel stuck because of that, or they are overwhelmed with the possibilities, good and bad, of what might happen. And so that fear keeps us stuck in a smaller version of ourselves, or imposter syndrome, like, who am I to do the thing that maybe is not aligned with what I've done my entire career or life or whatever that looks like. When you start to put those words on paper and you start to identify who is the version of yourself that you want to be and who are you right now? What do you need to cancel? What do you need to keep? Right? When you can get clear on that and you can identify all of the things that you bring to the table and you take ownership around who you want to be and what you want to let go of, most importantly, it makes it a lot easier to get out of our thoughts and start to make movements. If we allow the thoughts in our head to just run rampant on a day-to-day basis, we're going to feel stuck. But when you take ownership of those thoughts and you put the words on paper, and I'm not talking like type a list, I'm talking like write the list. Take the power away from the thoughts and take ownership of them. Then you can start to create a plan. Then you can start to take the next move. Even if the next move is like call a coach, call a friend, read the book, sign up for the course, whatever it is. But if you're just letting those thoughts swirl in your brain, you're going to stay stuck for a very long time. And so taking your power back, what are you canceling? What are you keeping? What is the version of you that you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now? Because let me tell you, the transformations that I get to witness are remarkable. And it's the women that start to do the thing, right? And I've got story after story after story of that. And honestly, a lot of it I hear, after, we've had the thing, we've celebrated the success. When I ask, what was it? And they said, you just made me take the next step. Like, yeah, I did. And I was there to tell you it's going to be okay. So it helps.
You talked about that mentor early on.
Yes.
Confidence building, right? Like
Yeah.
we didn't all just have it.
No.
You have to build it over time. And I mean, you have had beautiful crowns to your name and really have represented so many different organizations and, in so many amazing worlds and phases of your life, right? How has that been for you to build that confidence?
Yeah, well, I didn't start out confident, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
None of us did.
None of us did. I was my own worst enemy for so many years, but, I've had a lot of coaches and mentors. I grew up as a competitive athlete and, I worked with sports psychologists over the years that helped me acknowledge the wins along the way too, because I would always look for what didn't go right, right? How wasn't, or where did I fail? What wasn't perfect? And when I was doing that, what I didn't realize I was doing in the process was stealing so much joy from the experience and removing the progress from the equation. I was only focused on like what I hadn't achieved yet. And when I started recognizing how I was growing, how I was changing, how I was evolving, the wins I was having, it made a huge difference for me and simultaneously built my confidence. So that was one thing for me, that acknowledging the progress along the way was a huge confidence booster that so many high achieving women just don't do. We're focused on what hasn't happened yet. And so acknowledging the win. And that was something that I carried with me, even as I led sales teams, as I led, different departments and organizations. Where are we growing? How are we evolving? Where are we starting from today? Because we're better than what we were yesterday, and acknowledging that. So that was huge. And the other thing was not letting analysis paralysis get in my way. I can overthink things a lot, but I also recognize that confidence comes from doing. And so I'd rather fail fast, fail forward and learn from it than stay stuck in the unknown or the what if, because regrets are the worst. And I've had regrets over the course of my life, and I look back and when I think about it, it was because I didn't do the thing. I didn't move fast enough. I didn't try. I didn't trust myself enough to just go for it. And so I've made that commitment that I might not feel 100% confident, but if I take that step and I take the next step and I take the next step, all of a sudden I'm going to build that confidence, because that's what action is, what will build the confidence, but it's certainly not staying still will.
So many of us struggle with that inner voice,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
It slows us down. But say we take that next step and we are open to visibility, but we're not comfortable with visibility. And I think that's where so many of your programs step in to help. I was able to be part of that authority accelerator last spring, the visibility labs, and coming up soon.
Yes. Iconic impact. And it's really,
so good.
The whole point is you get comfortable by doing the reps, right? And by surrounding yourself with people that can help you and that can speak life into you and can affirm or give you constructive feedback to help you be the best version of yourself. And that's what all of our events are designed to do. Number one, we want to empower you, but really we want women to come in and do the work, right? And to get feedback and to have experts surrounding them, because we want to collapse the time between what you want and where you when you actually get there. And so we recognize that the fastest way that we can do that is by being super intentional around who we bring in to pour into our community. I am ruthless and relentless with putting together the speaker lineup and the coaches and the experts, because number one, I value women's time tremendously. It's the one thing we can never get back, right? And so if somebody's going to come and be in the room with us, I want them to walk out and be like, oh my gosh, like that was 1,000 times even more amazing than what I thought it was going to be. And that is what I strive for. I'm always thinking about, what are they going to say when they walk out? And how can I create intentionally an experience for women that will change them in the time that they're with us? And if they implement these things, they can trust that this isn't some like willy-nilly chat GPT framework we came up with. Like this has been tried, true, tested. Like this is this is what works.
Yeah.
And when somebody puts their confidence and faith in us and shares that time and space with us for that period of time, I want to know 100% inside that if they take it and they run with it and they execute on it, that it's going to make a difference in this world. And they're going to make a difference in this world in an even greater capacity. So as we look at like iconic impact, the whole premise of it is, iconic is an acronym in this case. So it's intentionally creating our next incredible chapters. And we're doing it in November on purpose because number one, the fourth quarter of the year is my favorite quarter of the year because you can end strong and the foundation that you lay in the last 90 days of 2026 is going to set you up for 2027, good or bad. And so if you do the work at that time of year, you lay the groundwork, you make the intentions, you make the plans for what you want 2027 to be, you're going to have so much momentum coming out of an event and run strong into the year and have confidence going into the new year, knowing that you've already invested in your future self.
I think if some people think, well, because I'm like, what stands out here is it's not just the pep talks and the
No.
empowerment. It
Mm-mm.
is like, here's one program you could,
Uh-huh.
launch your business with.
Yep.
Here's another,
Yep.
what sticks with you, what
Mhm.
speaks to your
Yep.
heart and soul, and what messaging that you feel that you'll be able to share
Yeah.
and run with that. Pick
Exactly.
that one and then pick
Exactly.
this one. And
Yeah.
so I think that there's some valuable just all the ways you connect, I think is
Oh,
beautiful and
well,
helpful and,
and I think
that's what you
about
run with.
the women that are gonna come,
Yeah,
right? And,
yeah.
like, I know with certainty that because I've been intentional about how I've built my brand and the She Believes She Could brand, that certain women are attracted to this. Others are like, "Oh my god, that sounds like too much work." But like those that are, right? They want to play full out. They want the resources. They don't want to struggle trying to put all the pieces together. They want the roadmaps. And so I look at that and I'm super thoughtful about who we invite into the space because again, with your own personal brand, anybody that you associate with is an extension of your brand.
Mhm.
And so I am very mindful of that. And when I tell you, like, how we sat down and we curated the speakers for the spring summit, like for Authority Accelerator, we were so intentional about the day, how it was going to build. And our speakers understood the assignment too. Like they played full out, they contributed to the playbooks. Like everybody was so invested in the day from the speakers to the event coordinator to the women in the room that showed up. Like it was done on purpose. And that is how we are approaching Iconic Impact as well, because it is going to be a very important event for so many reasons. But we think about the women that are going to show up, the ones that have already said they're coming. And it's like, I get excited about creating something so special for them because I know what it's been like to be in a room that's changed me. And I want to create that for the women that are showing up for our events too.
Why personal branding? I think you
Mhm.
speak to it so well because you've come from corporate
Yeah.
world. Some people might wanna do both. Some
Yeah.
might wanna make a move and pick
Right.
one. And so talk a little bit about the importance of personal
Yeah.
branding and, for some aren't even familiar with, "Gosh,
Right.
what do I do with that?"
Right. Well, and I wanted to just set the stage by saying I don't approach personal branding from a place of ego. And that's the difference. There's a lot of people that are like, me, I. And like, that is not our ethos here at all.
Mhm.
I approach a personal brand from if I can help you shine brighter, tell your story, really package you in a way in which feels authentic and genuine, I can help you accelerate your impact and the change you make in this world. And so when I look at the through line for everybody that I serve, every single person is impact driven. And I love that
Mm.
because if I can help them shine brighter and really know who they are and have a powerful story to tell, the ripple effect is significant in their lives and those they are meant to serve. So we look at it through a lens of service. And, I did spend over a decade in corporate, 15 years really, building healthcare companies, helping to put our physicians first. So building thought leadership to build trust amongst the consumers. So even if you're in a corporate setting, your personal brand matters. Now, not every corporation loves when everybody shines brightly. So I always say that with caution, like make sure you understand the environment to which you're operating in and if that's going to be celebrated or it's going to create a struggle. But at the end of the day, your personal brand is your reputation. And so nobody can ever take that away from you. It just really matters where you are and how you are showing up for yourself. And so whether that is purely building out your own thought leadership and showing up consistently on LinkedIn so that you have an opinion and a voice and a thoughtful remark on things that matter to you and your industry, or it could be as significant as so many of the women that we serve who are saying, I want to monetize my thought leadership and I want to get the book deal and I want to speak on the stages and I want to launch my own programs and I want to build my brand to a point that I can step outside of the current environment that I'm in and do this full time, because it's all possible. It's really, what do you want to do with it? I've had just so many wonderful examples of serving women who did want to stay in corporate, but wanted that promotion. And they were tired of their voice being silenced or not being asked for their opinion in the boardroom. And how did we work with them to help pull that out? How are they showing up? How are they raising their hands for things? So it is as focused on that aspect as it is on those that want to do this full time.
Motherhood.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Let's throw that in the mix.
Oh, yes.
Whole nother juggle and struggle and joy.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
Right.
It is.
I always talk about, early on I'd say, how do you balance it? And then over time you realize there is no such thing. We just, it's what's in the given moment.
Yeah.
And, I see how you work and I see how you mother. And it's just, for those who are kind of going through that, what are some of your thoughts and tips?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. That's like a whole episode or many
Sure.
in and of itself. But I'm so grateful for my kids. I have 3 kids, 14, 10, and 7. And I look at just my life over the time that they've been on this earth and how much they have shaped me. When I had Maddie, my oldest, I was in law school. It was my last semester of law school. I was getting ready to start my own business. I was already working in the healthcare space, and it was a juggling act. But I was so excited about what I was building and creating, and I saw everything through her, right? Like I wanted her to see mom chasing her dreams because I wanted her to chase hers too. And I just always wanted to show her that like you can create or do anything that you want to do. And over the course of my career, I ran really fast as I was raising a family. And I just always thought that that was what I wanted and would always do. They have shaped me to redefine my definition of success. I always thought it was going to be one thing until a few years ago when Maddie, she went through some pretty significant things and it caused me to take a step back and say, is this definition of success I'm chasing really the right one for me and for my family? And it was like a screeching halt to a career that I had built for so long, something I was so proud of, but it was no longer in alignment with the mother that I needed to show up to be. And she taught me so much, right, during that season of our lives. But the biggest lesson that she really helped me realize as a mom was that I needed to be in the driver's seat when it came to what our life was going to look like and what success was going to look like for us. And it was a very big shift for us in what I was doing. But it was so worth it. And now I get to pick her up from school every day. I get to take her to dance. I do work from the dance studio parking lot. We were talking about that.
And how do you work from that parking lot?
I do. I have the best $15 desk that I attach to my steering wheel from Amazon. The best. We'll link it in the show notes.
Yes.
But it is, I was able to rewrite the story because I love working. I love what I get to do. I love the women that I get to serve. I love what we've built. And my life is very different than it was 2 years ago. And it's because of my sweet children. It was the wake-up call that I didn't expect, but I'm very grateful to be in the position that I'm in now. And they have taught me more about life than anything else has. And I'm so grateful for them. And, I think back and I always have to be kinder to my younger self because there's so many times where I've caught myself saying, like, if I would have done this or I should have done that, or how did I let this happen or whatever those things are. And I'm like, but you know what? Now I'm in the driver's seat
Mhm.
and I'm very aware of where I need to be showing up and what I need to be doing in order to be the best possible mom for them. So I could go on and on, but I'm so grateful to be their mom and that God blessed me with them. And they teach me more than anything else in this world.
I think we think this linear line
Oh,
early on, right? And then
yeah,
you just realize, okay, that's going to change. And there's going
yeah,
to be, it's all about the waves and
it is.
riding them and
It is.
um, learning to just go with the flow.
Right. Well, and to
Yeah.
create that we have a lot more agency over our lives than I
Yeah.
think what we realize. I didn't grow up with entrepreneurs around me, right? Like
Mm.
those were people that I sought out as mentors and, as I got older. But we really do have the ability to create the life that we want. And, I'm very grateful that I was flexing the muscle and doing the things on the side. I always had a side hustle, always
Mhm.
for years and years and years. But it gave me the confidence that when Maddie was sick and I needed to leave corporate and I needed to be home and I needed to be more present, I had the confidence in myself because I had proven to myself what I was capable of in a smaller way, right? Like, so as I was building things on the side, it was proof of what was possible in the future. And so it wasn't as scary for me to take the leap. And when I leapt and I did it, and I was able to say, I took a step back after my first year of leaving and I was like, I out earned my corporate role in my first year full time on my own. And I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, but it was just one of those moments where I'm like, why didn't I trust myself? Right. Like,
Yeah.
why, but I also didn't, my back wasn't up against the wall. I wasn't, I had all these options and choices and things, and I thought everything was fine. But those moments, afterwards of just taking a step and saying, you know what? Wow, like I didn't expect this to be the journey, but I am really grateful that I'm where I'm at now. And so, I have so much belief in women and their ability to do and create whatever it is that they want for themselves. And, I didn't do it alone. I've asked for help every step of the way. I have amazing people in my life that pour into me that remind me that it's not always going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. And I try to mirror that for others too, but it is worth it. And if you're willing to invest in you and you're willing to do the work and you're willing to commit to the dream and figure it out, even when it's hard or it feels not possible, like you can get through this and you'll be so freaking proud of yourself when you look back and say, I did this.
Mm. So good.
Oh, thank
So
you.
good,
Thank
Allison.
you.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
Quick
you.
speed round.
Yes.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Morning person, night owl?
Morning. Give me all the morning routines. I love it.
Me
I love my
too.
time in the morning.
Sunrise, right?
Mhm.
Before sunrise.
Before sunrise.
Way before. Favorite way to recharge?
Oh, I love a good facial.
Mm.
Love it. So, in fact, this is one of the things that I've learned to do before I leave my monthly facial. I schedule my next one because I am the epitome of the example of like, oh, I'll just call and book it. And then it's
Yeah.
months later. So I've gotten really good at making sure I do something for me each month. That and I've got an amazing best friend who just like fills my cup. And you met him, Chief Unicorn. He was at the
Chief
at
Unicorn.
the summit. Like he just pours into me and I'm like recharged and ready to go.
Everyone
He
needs Chief
Oh my
Unicorn in
gosh,
their
I
space.
can like run through a wall after I talk to him. Like that's like what he does for me. He's just like such a great and dear friend.
Mm. Favorite way to reset? I think
Oh,
we could do this through careers, through, just our everyday, but
yeah. My favorite way to reset is to take a step back
Mm.
and to give myself some quiet time in a world that is so noisy and there's so much stimulation and there's so much possibility and there's so much abundance out there. It can be really easy to be reactive and reactionary in everything that we do. So taking the step back, and as you always say, like the pause,
Yeah,
right?
right.
The stillness, the quiet to really listen and think about what do I need right now? What do I really, really want? And is this next step what somebody else is telling me I should be doing? Or is this what I want to be doing?
Mhm.
And that is like the purest way to enter into a reset because otherwise you're just chasing something else that's somebody else's definition of what you should be doing or what success is. And I think we have to really take ownership of that time, of that space. And I encourage the intentional pause, like every 90 days. What are you doing? What lights you up? Is this bringing you joy? Is this fulfilling you? Is this financially the right move? Like, what is it? Is it doing what you thought it would do? And giving yourself permission to reset as often as you need to.
Fill in the blank. She believed she could.
So she did. So she did. But I think that with that, so she believes she could start the business, build the brand, leave the career, start the career, do the things she wants to do, travel the world. Like, I love it because it can be the beginning statement for so many things and, make the difference that she wants to make. It's all of the things. So it's really deciding what is it that you want to do and believing in yourself enough to do it.
The Paige Kornblue Show is all about walking a little lighter,
Yeah.
stories and people that help us along that way. So what would you say to that? Guidance on walking a little lighter in this life?
Yeah. Well, I think I can so easily take life so seriously,
Mhm.
right? Because I have big goals, because I have big dreams. But I'm always reminded that we are human beings, not human doings. And when you say walk a little lighter, to me, it's such a reminder to enjoy the journey along the way and to be able to let things roll off your back a little bit easier, to not embody the stress that could kill us, honestly, and, really recognizing that every day is a gift. And we can be thoughtful and intentional and have all the best plans, but sometimes you have to just enjoy the moments and the unexpected things that happen along the way, or, the signs that maybe there's something else out there to explore and, having the conversations that could change your life. Like, you just never know where it's going to come from. But if you're always just so head down, grinding it out, you're going to miss a lot of moments. And so when you're walking a little lighter, and to me, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Well, you are, Allison. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. How can everyone connect with
Yeah.
you to learn a little more and perhaps work with you in the many capacities that you have?
Thank you. So She Believes She Could podcast drops every Tuesday. So you
Yeah.
can absolutely tune in and hear amazing guests like yourself on their show. And then Instagram is where my, time is spent if I'm on social. So at Allison Walsh, I'm very active in my DMs too. So feel free to send me a message. And then SheBelievesSheCould.co is where everything for She Believed She Could lives now. So our events, the podcast network, all of the beautiful things that we're working on and community that we're building exists there. So please check us out. We'd love to be of support.
Allison Walsh, wearing beautiful pink, wear the pink and shining brightly.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Paige Kornblue Show. If you'd like to connect with Allison or attend her iconic Impact event this November, I've got a special gift for you. Just visit the show notes for my exclusive discount code PAIGE, that's all caps, PAIGE, to save $50 on registration. You'll also find links to Allison's work, the resources we talked about, including that famous $20 steering wheel desk. I've got to get one too. And everything else mentioned in today's conversation. I'll also put all the links and that discount code on my website, paigekornblue.com. PAIGEKORNBLUE.com. It's where I have all things PK. And if you're not already part of my monthly newsletter, you'll find a link to sign up there on my website as well. I'd love to have you join me. It's where I share behind-the-scenes stories, podcast extras, simple reminders to help us navigate life's twists and turns and walk just a little bit lighter. I'm Paige Kornblue. Wherever life takes you, hold tight to the good.